G'day. As has become customary, I'm Les Power is my name. I'm the founder of the Will of Australians. They tell me I've got to do that every time because of the amount of people joining us every day, and it's fantastic. I welcome every one of you. Just to explain, the Will of Australians is not now, nor has it ever been, nor will it ever be, a political party. We regard ourselves as the opposite of a political party. We monitor the Australian people's will as best we can, and whatever the majority of the Australian people want, that's what we want, that's what we fight for. I stand before you today very nervous because I've never done anything quite like this before. I've made plenty of videos. They've been viewed hundreds of thousands of times, but this one's very special because I'm today addressing every member of law enforcement in Australia, from the highest hierarchy to the cadet that's just graduated from the academy. I'm also addressing every member of the military, again, right from the highest hierarchy to the sapper, so to speak, who's just completed boot camp. Because my opinion is, everything that I'm telling you is my opinion. I mean no disrespect to anybody. I certainly don't mean to cause any conflict or anyone to break any rules or any laws or anything else. But I believe that Australia is in a period of dramatic change. And to put it as bluntly as I can, I am of the opinion, and I know that this is true, we are being controlled by a communist government. Anthony Albanese is a communist. He has been for 40 years. Indeed, he was arrested quite some years ago when he was at university by the New South Wales Police. I believe, I think all Australians, I've advocated this before, all Australians need to ask the question, why would a 40-year committed and passionate communist aspire to be the leader of a constitutional monarchy, which is what we are, or a democracy, which is what we aspire to be? Why would a highly passionate communist do that? To my way, I think there's only one reason. And I believe that Anthony Albanese and senior members of his government, I believe are communist as well, are seeking to change us to become a communist nation. My rationale behind that is that Anthony Albanese is doing what I consider to be an insane, absolutely insane, destroying Australia concept of bringing hundreds of thousands, millions of people in from overseas, in my opinion, very carefully selected from countries and demographics that he believes are going to vote Labor at the next election, thereby ensuring that Labor gets 3 consecutive terms. I believe we are already being controlled and moved towards communism, in my view. But with the 3rd term in government, I believe that's when we will be forced, if you like, to become a communist nation. Now, I believe that's absolutely wrong. But I appeal to all members of the law enforcement, and I appeal to all members of the military. And I ask you, with the greatest respect for all of you, and with all the love that comes from deep in my heart, please consider this situation. That it's my belief that the law enforcement and possibly the military, they will be the ones that will decide whether we remain one of the best countries in the world, which we've lost that reputation anyway, one of the richest countries in the world, we've lost that reputation also, and one of the friendliest countries in the world. We've just seen that at Bondi. That's no longer the case. Now, I believe this has all been caused, it's been judged properly, and I'll just mention, whilst I think of it, as I've said at the outset, Les Power is my name. I'm no longer a young man, as painfully obvious. But I've been a law-abiding citizen all of my life. I've never ever knowingly or willingly committed a crime. So that's who I am, for what it's worth. But I ask you to consider this. First and foremost, all of us, all of you and all of me and my people, first of all, we're all humans. Second of all, we're all Australians. And third of all, we all have a family. I'm sure you have husbands, wives, or if you haven't already, you probably will do, if you'll have children. If you haven't already, I'm sure you will at some stage have children. You'll have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. And those great-great-grandchildren are the ones that I believe are significant in this discussion that I'm having with you now. Because there's an old saying, you may have heard of it yourself, you can vote your way into communism, but you've got to shoot your way back out of it. And I believe it'll be those great-great-grandchildren who will decide to shoot their way back out of communism. I mean, the reality of it is, again, you may all know this, I just say it for what it's worth. What Albanese, in my opinion, is trying to do has been tried hundreds of times across the world. Hundreds of times, and it's never, ever once succeeded. Never. However, what has happened is the conflict between ideologies of communism and democracy or Christianity, whichever you choose, the conflict between those has created a minimum of 100 million people to be murdered or killed. Some experts say it's as high as 230 million, but I'm happy to accept 100 million in that conflict between communism and democracy, and never once has it succeeded. But I believe our children, our family, firstly, our family, our children, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren will know that it was our generation that made the decision that determined the outcome, whether we either become a communist nation or we remain and go back to what I will continue to strive to achieve, to become one of the richest countries in the world, one of the freest countries in the world, one of the most popular countries in the world, one of the most popular people in the world, or we become a communist nation. And I say to you with the greatest respect, you people will be called upon to make that decision, in my opinion. I hope I'm not saying anything that's wrong. I'm not encouraging any rebellions or breaking the law or breaking the rules, not proposing any of that. But I believe you will be called upon to make decisions, and you will either decide with the government or with the people. And the reality of it is, again, you may already know this, the reality of it is, we the people are the reason why this country exists. Our Constitution tells us we the people are sovereign. We control this nation. We vote these politicians into power to do what we want them to do. Now that's been flushed down the toilet. But I believe that people will stand and demand to be free, and like it or lump it, and I'm sure you people already know it, you'll be called upon to make a decision. I only hope that you will consider what I've said, consider your family, your children, and so on, as I said, and determine the ultimate outcome of Australia, whether it becomes back to what it used to be, where the world loved us and we're the richest country, one of the richest in the world, or we become a communist nation. Simple as that. I hope you'll consider what I've said. I hope you'll share this video with your fellow law enforcement or military. And I thank every single last one of you for what you do. You have my utmost respect and love. I hope that we will together achieve the right outcome. God bless every last one of you. God bless Australia. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.